Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my best of beauty for the year of 2016. I know it's a little bit late, but better late than never, I guess. Or better late than pregnant, as Blanche Devereaux likes to say. You guys probably know exactly what products I'm gonna talk about, but let's get into it. There was only two primers, skin primers in the year of 2016 that were new to me and that I thought were worth mentioning in this video. The first one is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Primer, Oil-Free Poreless Skin Perfecting Serum Primer. It Cosmetics came out with a whole collection that they released into Sephora, and it was all supposed to be like makeup and skincare that was developed with plastic surgeons, so the ingredients are supposed to be really good for your skin. I really enjoy this primer. It's extremely lightweight and silky. It's like the softest feeling primer in the world on your skin. It's not an extremely heavy duty silicone based pore minimizing primer like you're used to. It's very similar to the Hourglass Mineral Veil if you've ever tried that one. I love this. It feels so good on the skin. It does do a nice soft focus effect, and your makeup will lay beautifully on top of it. So this is a really big favorite of mine. I'm running, I don't know if you can see, but I've only got like this much left. It was a fave. If you are looking for a Mac Daddy pore filling primer, then this is for you. This is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. It comes in this little jar. It is a very thick paste. You're meant to take a very small amount of this and just work this on the areas of your face that you have texture or pores that you want to correct. You definitely don't want to put this all over your skin. I cannot use this all the time because it does break me out. I'm not too surprised that it breaks me out because, like I said, it's so heavy duty and probably got a lot of dimethicone or something to that effect in here. As long as I only use it sporadically, I'm fine. Just can't use it every day, but it does the damn job, I'm trying to tell you. And that's the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. Only two foundations for the year of 2016. The first one is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I wore this one probably the most out of any foundation throughout the year, and I definitely repurchased this one the most, and I definitely bought the most shades in this foundation. I change colors like all week due to the fact that I self-tan, so I ended up buying, I think in total all year, maybe 4 of these colors. I think pretty much anyone could wear this. If you're extremely oily, you definitely want to prime and set accordingly. It's got a beautiful satin finish to it. It looks like skin. It doesn't clog your pores. It doesn't oxidize. It doesn't flash back weird on camera. It lasts a long time. It's a really good all-around basic foundation that I think for the most part almost anyone who wore this probably would like it. I can't imagine a scenario where you wouldn't. But yeah, that's the Born This Way from Too Faced. Next, I would have to say this was my actual like true blue favorite all year. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. This is a matte foundation, which I know a lot of people are not super into, but if you find a good matte foundation, it will change your life. Obviously, super dry people will probably want nothing to do with something like this, but normal, combo, and oily, the best thing about a matte foundation is it makes your skin look so smooth and doll-like, which I'm into. You can bring back a glowy effect to your skin with finishing powders, highlighters, setting sprays. Like, I can actually go a little bit more hamburgers with highlighting products with a matte foundation. The formula is nice. I will say it oxidizes just a little bit, so you might want to get a shade that's just a hair lighter than your actual complexion. But overall, this was my favorite foundation. Like, I have 3 bottles of this, and this one's almost done. I love this. Only 2 concealers made the cut as well. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I was definitely one of the last people to jump on the bandwagon with this. I love this concealer. I love the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation as well, which would have made the cut for the best of 2016, but it's a best of for every year. So I'm not gonna throw it in just for the sake of keeping things a little bit more condensed. This isn't the most full coverage concealer in the world. It is very beautiful and skin-like. I would say, depending upon what you're trying to accomplish with this, you might have to layer it to get your desired pigmentation, but there's a lot of shades and it's an overall extremely beautiful formula. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer. Here's why it's called Shape Tape in case anybody is wondering. I think it's because of those stupid Instagram videos that people film where they're doing like beauty hacks, you know what I'm saying? Where they'll take like the high heel of a shoe and contour with it, or a knife or something stupid like that. I'm so tired of seeing these videos. 2017, can we just be done with the useless beauty hack videos? I'm sick of them. But anyway, there was a beauty hack going around there for a long time where people were taping their face, like taking Scotch tape and taping all around their faces to kind of act as a guide for where they're gonna contour and highlight. That's what I think the name came from, but anyway, this is the most full coverage concealer I've come across in a long time, probably maybe ever. I like this concealer a lot. It's very hard to find though. I actually have to mix two colors to get my ideal shade because I can never find it. These two formulas are extremely different, but the one thing they do have in common as far as I'm concerned is how nice they look on the skin. They don't get cakey, they don't get too dry. I would say pick one of these depending upon your needs. If you have really gorgeous, like flawless skin, don't bother with this. You're okay with this one. I have them both because some days I'm trying to be a little natural and some days I'm trying to be a little extra, so I love them. I only had one new powder in the year of 2016 that I used, and I don't love it enough to call it a favorite, so there are no powders. No favorite powders this year. I only have two bronzers that made the cut this year, and one of them is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. I use this one quite a bit. It's a very, very nice bronzer. It's waterproof, which is nice. The color range is amazing. I believe they have some shimmery, more shimmery ones. They have matte ones. This is one of the matte ones, and this is the color 30M. It's pretty dark. I really only use this one when I'm super tan. I said before, what I like about it so much is it's kind of like my brush is only picking up pigment and no powder, which sounds weird, but I mean, every step in makeup that you put on your skin, from your primer to your foundation to your setting powder to your contour, like you're adding layers, and it does add texture. This bronzer I don't feel like adds any texture at all. It's gorgeous. It blends out immaculately. It's amazing. Makeup Forever is one of my favorite brands, so I'm not surprised I hit it out of the park with this. Second favorite bronzer is the Balm Desert Bronzer Blush. I like this one when I'm really fair. It's a very unique bronzer. I've never seen anything quite like this. It has a really beautiful pink undertone to it, which does make it ideal to be a bronzer and a blush, as it indicates. But I feel like on fair skin, this brings a beautiful color and glow and dimension to the skin, but it's not too muddy or too brown or too red or too orange. It's just neutral and perfect and bronzy enough to give a little bit of life to the skin. When I am fair, this is the only bronzer I use, so I figured I'd show you guys like a deeper skin bronzer and a more fair skin bronzer. I love both of these, but this is an extremely unique bronzer. I've never seen a color quite like this. You can get the Balm at Kohl's now. Go check it out, go swatch it. You'll agree with me. It's got this really gorgeous rosy tint to it. So yeah, two favorite bronzers for show. My first favorite and probably my favorite of all time highlighters are the Makeup Forever. I believe these are called the Pro Light Fusion. So these are basically the highlighter version of this formula, which, as I said before, means that what you're getting on your brush is almost pure pigment and no texture. I really hate chunky, I don't know, eyeshadow look. You know what I'm talking about, where it looks like someone took an eyeshadow and just rubbed it on their cheek? I am not a fan of that look. I like it to look like skin, and that's what these do. They just look like glowy, luminous, beautiful skin. There's a more gold tone, which is number 2, and a more pink tone, which is number 1. I typically mix these together, but they are my favorite highlighter formula of all time, period, dot, astronaut. Highlighter is from Makeup Geek. This isn't any one color in particular. I have 4. I do enjoy all of the colors that I have. This happens to be the shade Midnight Sun. This is a very gorgeous formula as well. They go on so smooth. They're not chunky. They build very nicely as well. Some highlighters do not layer very nicely on top of each other, and these do. So if you're a fan of Makeup Geek, and you haven't picked these up yet, I don't know why. I think they're gorgeous. I haven't used these on camera as much as I feel like I should have, but trust me when I say I do use them all the time. They're absolutely gorgeous, and of course, because they're Makeup Geek, the price is so right. Blush, the only things that really made the cut for me this year are Tarte blushes. I did use some Becca, but it was mostly Tarte. I picked up all the neutral tone blushes from them that I could find, but the ones that I use the most are Captivating and Sensual. Captivating is not a new blush. I think this is like in my 2014 beauty favorites, if I'm not mistaken. It's a gorgeous, fresh, peachy blush that's just light enough to not be overpowering or kind of clown-like on the skin. Sensual is one of their nude blushes they came out with, which when I heard that Tarte was launching a nude matte blush collection, like, oh my stars, I couldn't even deal with it. So I friggin' love Tarte blushes. I can never say that word right the first time I try to say it. I love Tarte blushes. They are top favorite, is that true? Yep, favorite formula, favorite color range, Tarte blushes, vote a win. Setting spray, I discovered the Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist. You guys recommended the Glow Spray and this one. I like this one just a little bit more, at least in the warmer months. The Glow Mist, it's over there, I'd get it or I'd show it to you, is a little too oily for me if I go too crazy with it, but it's extremely hydrating. If you have dry skin and you want a really nice setting spray, I would recommend that one. And it's drugstore, you can get these at Target, so yay. But yeah, the Hydrating Milky Mist is my favorite just because it's a little bit lighter, but it gives me a beautiful soft glow to the skin after I apply it. You can use this to refresh your makeup. You can use this before you apply your makeup to kind of add a little bit of extra hydration. I love setting sprays and I love this one. And once again, this is from Pixie at Target. To move on to eyes, so I thought I'd tell you guys about brushes. My favorite brushes from the year, hands down, were Smith brushes. I have 5 of the eye brushes now. I want to go back for all of them. I want the face brushes, the eye brushes, the brow brushes, the lip brushes. I want all of them. These are such beautiful brushes. I have a lot of brushes. They're mostly Sigma and MAC. Is that true? Yeah, Sigma and MAC. I think in 2017 I'm gonna expand my horizons and try lots of new brushes, but so far, if this is any indication of what I'm in store for in terms of trying out new brushes, then I'm going to be a happy little lady. This is the 230, 247, 235, and the 232. I love them. To mention this when I was talking about complexion. For contour and highlighting, the Kat Von D Shade Light contour palette was my favorite, obviously. It took me a while to get into these highlighting powders. I kind of thought they were almost too pigmented, but once I kind of learned how to work with them and how much to apply, I was absolutely obsessed. So that whole too pigmented thing was actually a bonus because they layer beautifully on top of themselves. If you want to get extra bright and extra highlighted, it's perfect for that. And these contour shades are gorgeous. The only thing I wish was different was that she would flip-flop this. I wish the highlighting powders were bigger and the contour powders were a little bit smaller, only because like the contour only encompasses a small bit of my face, but my highlighting powder covers a lot more. It's the only thing I don't like about this. I am gonna buy the refillable one soon because this one's about had it, and I am really glad that she came out with the refillable contour kit because I know that was something that most people were kind of pushing for her to do. I think Kat Von D is really good at listening to her consumers, which I love. Eyes, and then lips, and we're done. I can't believe how quick this is going. I have 2 eyeshadow palettes in front of me and I use them all year. My absolute favorite one though being the Modern Renaissance from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I did film a tutorial, 2 tutorials using this look, but I'll put my favorite one right here. And this palette, when I saw it, I was just so obsessed because it's a neutral palette with pops of red, which when I first saw this, I was like, oh my God, she's so innovative, she's so smart. But technically, I feel like this was a little bit inspired by the Lime Crime Venus palette. And then when Lime Crime messed up and nobody wanted to buy from them anymore, I think Anastasia swooped in, kind of took the same idea, which was those red tones, and made a much better version of it. And every single neutral palette, or almost every palette in general that came out this year, had these kinds of colors in it, these 2 red shades, which I'm not complaining, but I think this is the best. These eyeshadows are so pigmented. You really need a tiny amount to get a eye look out of it. I've used this a million times and I haven't hit pan on any of them. That's just crazy to me. And it's because you need such a small amount. I don't know if all of these are permanent in her eyeshadow collection. I know this palette is permanent, but if you guys happen to find out if she's gonna make Love Letter or Venetian Red permanent in her single shadows, please let me know. But yeah. Favorite palette all year, hands down. Second is the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette. I bought a lot of Kat Von D's palettes this year, but all the ones that I bought outside of this one are limited edition, so I didn't really see a point in mentioning them. But I do love Kat Von D's eyeshadow formula. They're so buttery and silky and easy to blend and pigmented, and they don't get muddy. I love this palette because all the colors blend out beautifully, and they all look different on the eye. What I mean by that is, as much as I like the Tartelette palette, the first one that came out, the all matte one, I feel like those colors blend together sometimes and they just kind of look the same. These cool tones don't do that. I think it's hard to find cool tone colors that don't blend out into nothing or just kind of meld together and look muddy. Does that make sense? Like, they're perfect. I love them so much. I think she has one of the best formulas on the market for sure. I have a pigment and an eyeshadow as far as like individual eye products that I really got into this year. This is the Kat Von D Raw Power Metal Crush eyeshadow. I have a tutorial using this as well. I'll link it right here. I don't use this on camera very much, but pretty much anytime I need to rock a smoky eye off camera, I use this to do it. I was wearing this in my haul video recently. You guys were asking me what kind of eye look I was wearing. It was very similar to the one that I just linked. A little bit different, but pretty much the same thing. But this was all over the lid. It's a gorgeous, true red cut, like bronzy. I've never seen another eyeshadow like this. I've seen some that are similar, but they all either have a little bit more bronze or a little bit lighter, or they're a little bit cooler, but this is the perfect smoky, red smoky eyeshadow color in the world. Like, I get tongue-tied when I think about it. I love it so much. The opposite from that is Sugar Pills pigment in the color Lumi. I feel like I use this all the time this year. All the time. I used it in at least 2 makeup tutorials this year. At least 2 makeup tutorials this year. I used it in my mermaid tutorial for Halloween. Like, I love this pigment, and anytime I put a look together, anytime, I stop and ask myself if Lumi would go well with it, because if it will, I'm gonna use it. It's a beautiful iridescent turquoise teal green, like, I love it. I love to mix Lumi with reds and purples on the eye, and I love to use it over top of blue eyeshadows just to kind of bring them up a little bit more. This is a very useful pigment. You could use this as a highlighter too, and I bet it would be gorgeous. Friggin' love it, and that's Lumi from Sugar Pill. Lashes, I only have 2. I have the Eylure and Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes. I use these pretty much all year. You can get these at Ulta. You can sometimes find them at Target. They're relatively inexpensive. I believe they're $6 a piece, and you can use these over and over and over again. I decided in 2016 I was no longer going to use mink lashes. I will never use them again, and it was kind of hard at first because what I liked about mink lashes was how fluttery and PC and natural they looked, but this one is beautiful. It's synthetic, and there is so much dimension, and they're wispy, and there's short bits and long bits, and there's crisscross bits. It's just a wonderful lash. I hope they never take it away. And that is Grand Glamour. These technically shouldn't be in the video because I just discovered them, but I don't care. They are my favorites all year, even though I've only had them for like 2 months. These are the Flutter lashes in the Ersatz collection. You guys cleared up for me that Ersatz, I guess, means fake or something like that in German. I don't know. You guys took the time to tell me, and I can't even remember what you said, but Ersatz means not real, basically. This is their synthetic line. I have 2 types in front of me, but I've bought several kinds. My favorites so far are Intoxicating. I'm wearing them today. There's 2 different types of synthetic lashes from Flutter. There's these, which is the one, the white packaging. These are $10. And then there's the premium ones, which are $20. So far, you guys, I can't tell a difference. They're both styles, whether it's $10 or the $20, they're both beautiful. Both of them. So I really don't know what the difference is. Maybe it's something on the back end with the creation of them that I'm not aware of. But they're so beautiful. They're long, they're wispy, they're fluffy, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They're my favorite lashes I have ever used. I don't even mean this year. I mean ever. I need to stock up. I told you guys, I tried really hard not to just bombard you with a million things that you need to feel pressured to buy. This is just the best of the best. And I stand by that statement. This is the Benefit Give Me Brow. This is actually a brow tinted fiber building brow mascara with the teeniest little brush you will ever see. I love this stuff so much. I mean, I've experimented with different brow powders and different brow pencils. I have favorites, but there's no one brow powder or brow pencil that just cannot be replaced or duplicated. But this is something that I have never found anything like, and I tried so many brow mascaras, brow gels, brow mascara, whatever. I tried so many of them this year, and this is the only one that is like this. It is, I'll never be without it again. And that's the Gimme Brow. Now that I have red hair, I use the number 3. If you want to see my brow routine, I'll link it right here. It was from when I had black hair. The routine's pretty much the same. I use the same products. I just changed the colors that I use, so love it. This is the Tarte Clay Paint Liner. I love this stuff. It's like a eyeliner that comes out of a squeezy tube like this. I got through an entire tube and it did not dry out on me and become impossible to use, which I feel like is what happens very quickly with most gel liners that I use, the ones that come in like pots. This is perfect. I love it. If you're a freelance makeup artist, this would be really good to have in your kit. You'd never have to worry about contaminating your product because it comes out of it and you can just dip your brush on it. It's so good. I love it. These are the Makeup Forever Aqua XL liners. The best eyeliners I used all year. Urban Decay was a close second, but I used these all year. They sent me the whole collection. All the colors are beautiful. The formula is pretty consistent throughout the entire collection. These have the perfect amount of dry down time. I can use them to smudge. I can use them to work on the top lid. I friggin' love it. Makeup Forever Aqua XL, like I said. Lip liners, the Makeup Forever, what are these called? High Precision Lip Pencils. They sent me the whole collection of these as well. I love these. There are so many beautiful colors. The cool thing about this pencil, and I don't know how they did it, but these get super sharp super easily. The formula is perfect. It's not too waxy. It's not too dry. It lasts. It's beautiful. The color range is great. I love these lip liners. So yeah, and that's the Makeup Forever High Precision Lip Pencil. And in case you're wondering, number 12 so far is my favorite. These are the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquefied Matte Long Wear Lipstick. It's a matte liquid lip. Obviously, everyone and their mama came out with matte liquid lips this year, and as far as formula is concerned, this is one of my favorite, and I do love these two colors as well. I keep going and looking at the selection of colors every time I go to Too Faced, but unfortunately, I feel like I own those colors already from other brands. I might go down one day and get more of them just because I love the formula so much. These remind me just a little bit of the NYX soft velvet lip creams or whatever those were called, meaning they go on kind of creamy and moussey. They dry down and you can't feel them. They don't break apart. They're not chunky. It's such a good formula, and I do love these colors a lot. This is Cool Girl and Child Star. I've worn them a million times, either on their own or mixed together. Love, 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 love. This is actually a stand-in because my best friend Jacqueline, I'm looking at you girl, has my liquid lipstick that I wanted to put in the video. I'm gonna need that back. I love you. This is the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick in the color Aria, which I do love, don't get me wrong, but what I wanted to talk about was the Stila, I'll put a picture of it right here, the Stila liquid lipstick in the color Bacca, B-A-C-C-A, I think that's how it's pronounced. That is my favorite liquid lipstick in the entire world. The color is so gorgeous. It looks good on me whether I'm fair or tan, doesn't matter what I'm wearing. You wanna go for a bold lip, but you don't wanna go with like just the traditional red. That color is so beautiful. I was wearing it in this video right here. It's my favorite. It's my favorite lipstick probably ever. No joke, true story. And that's it. I had a really good 2016, and 2017 is gonna be so much better. I'm moving this year, a lot of life changes. 2016 was the first year since I've had my channel that I dedicated all of my time, not all of my time, but I wasn't doing anything else for work. It was just YouTube. I learned a lot, I stumbled a lot, there was a lot of like problems, but overall, I think that's part of what made 2016 so special for me, was I got to really do this full time. With that being said, spending this much time involved in YouTube and in the blogging community really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and towards the end of the year especially, and even the beginning of this year, I mean, I was sick and that's why I couldn't film for so long, but I was also kind of like in this place mentally where I was just like, I don't know, man, I feel like the beauty community and the beauty industry in general is so negative now. But I learned over the past few days that that's because I've been exposing myself to the negativity and like watching people in the beauty space that I just don't connect with. Like I don't feel inspired by them, I don't feel like I can relate to them. lately I have found some amazing YouTubers, and it's really re-sparked my energy and made me feel like, you know what? I'm gonna do me. This year you're gonna see a lot of changes on my channel. I have a lot of cool ideas for new things, and I feel like I'm really gonna come into my own on camera more than I have in the past. Might sound kind of weird to you guys, but it's really exciting to me, and I'm very thankful for each and every single solitary one of you guys who subscribe to my videos, have shared my videos, added me on Instagram, communicated with me through Snapchat. Like, it really does mean a lot to me every single time one of you guys reach out to me and tell me that you get me or you appreciate what I'm doing, because I do it all for you. You guys are having an amazing day. Please thumbs up the video if you enjoy it. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms. Subscribe if you have not. Did I say that? I can't remember. Anyway, I love you more than you will ever know. Bye bye.